So we're back with another 90 Day Fiancé the Other Way recap. Let's get right to it. First we have Greta and Matthew. So a little while after Greta tells Matthew that she doesn't think she wants kids anymore, Matthew is willing to stick beside her to see if it's something that might eventually change. But Greta, on the other hand, just a little while later is just like, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm out of here. Here's the ring. I'm gonna stay in a hotel. I don't even think she's been in London for over a month yet, but correct me if I'm wrong on that. But it seems as though it hasn't really been that long. However, Greta seems pretty sure that this life just isn't the one for her, and Matthew isn't her person.
I really love Matthew, but I'm worried that we might not be compatible anymore.
But his dad does take some time to talk to him and her to assess the situation and give a little advice. But Greta seems pretty bent on just ending their relationship and going back home. And obviously you can't force someone to stay. If that's their decision, then it is what it is, but hopefully she doesn't regret it. Next we have Anthony and Manon. Now after Anthony gives Manon some stripper action at their little couples getaway, Manon goes right back to working and building this business that she claims isn't going to take away too much time and attention from the family. Now, even though giving more time and attention to their family was the whole reason for them moving to France, I just honestly see this crashing and burning, and with the quickness. Her mom and Anthony try to persuade her not to do this, but of course she's super headstrong and continues on. And even gives Anthony the breakdown of all the plans she has for the company, along with her business partner sitting right next to her. And Anthony, God bless his soul, he was trying his best to stay calm in that moment and come across very supportive, but I was with him on this one. Like, why couldn't you just talk to Anthony by yourself about all this? Why did your business partner have to be there? I mean, she was technically lying to him a little bit, making it seem like she had put all this on the back burner for now, considering the upfront investment of time and money. And they also are trying to buy a house at the moment because that's what she wanted to do. So I could really understand why he's a little pissed. Next, we have Patia and Dylan. Now, after Patia and Dylan's mom kind of sort of work through their issues, they go out to play a little tennis together, and his mom is basically dominating the court. Patia didn't even have a chance. Then afterwards, they have this conversation that goes just a little bit off the rails because Patia still feels a way about her calling Dylan or Dylan calling her so much, but it sounds like it might be mainly Dylan calling a lot. However, Patia still sees her as a needy mom. But I don't really think that's fair to put all that on her. I think the ball is in Dylan's court to limit the whole calling thing. Now, when it comes to me and my family, we usually text because I really don't like calling people, especially when you run out of things to talk about. It just gets awkward really fast, so I would just prefer to text, and then if we decide to stop talking, then we stop talking. You know, it's not weird. But overall, I would say it's definitely on Dylan to put up some boundaries since he's the one in the relationship with Patia. And if he doesn't want to do that, then Patia has to make a decision as to what she's gonna do next. Lastly, Patia brings up to Dylan that she's considering going back to dancing in the US to pay off the rest of her debt.
It's hard to commit to you if you can't commit to us being together.
But Dylan isn't a fan because he claims that even though he's also a dancer of the exotic kind, that he just does his entertaining in the open areas with groups rather than the VIP rooms, which is what Patia sometimes does, I guess. So there's a little bit of concern there for him, but Patia thinks he's being a little insecure and hypocritical about it. But then at the same time, he doesn't want to give her the money to pay off the debt, it seems. So it's kind of like, well, what do you want her to do? Click her heels a few times and hope that the debt just magically goes away? So they definitely need to figure all that out. Next, we have Chloe and Johnny. Now, after Chloe's mom leaves Aruba, Chloe and Johnny then go to get more information on getting her work permit and everything to work over there and how long it would take. But it seems like it might be a much quicker process if they just go ahead and get married. But both Chloe and I think that's just way too quick, and they most definitely are not ready for that yet.
Are you ready to get married?
Yeah, I am.
You hesitated.
And honestly, looking at the things they're still fighting over, I'm not sure if they'll ever make it there. Infidelity and trust still seem to be pretty big issues in their relationship, and it seems like Johnny, according to Chloe, is trying to rewrite history and make it seem like he never even talked to any girls at the beginning of their relationship. But I think this man must have forgotten that he literally admitted to this in the first few episodes, saying that he thought that he and Chloe were just in the talking phase and weren't that serious yet. But clearly, Chloe thought otherwise. I don't know. The selective amnesia is looking pretty interesting and a little weird, coming from a man that claims that he wants to settle down and start a family soon.
I'm already at an age that I'm ready to get married.
It's not about age, it's about me.
I'm looking for someone to marry.
Next, we have Jenny and Submit. So now that things are in full swing over at the family cafe and customers are actually coming in, we now are beginning to have issues with Jenny being at the front. Who would have thought this woman would have had issues with making coffee and counting money to just give people the correct change?
You haven't charged anybody?
That's why I shouldn't be up here dealing with the money.
Jenny was really trying to make her job out to be so difficult, and it really wasn't. But now on top of that, she and Sumit are also having issues at home, specifically with his mom, which I think all of us knew it was only a matter of time, especially since they also work together. But in the latest episode I watched, they were trying to have a conversation with his mom about being so controlling and telling him what to do. But in all fairness, it is her house, so it's kind of a sticky situation. But they do end up having a pretty heated back and forth, and of course his mom starts crying, and it was just honestly a hot mess. So we'll see where that goes. Lastly, we have Luke and Madelein. So they are still trying to push through to the wedding, but Madelein starts feeling sick on the way to go look at the property that Luke was looking at developing into some type of resort. And in my mind, I was like, is this not the man that was saying he was dang near broke and was arguing with Madelein about sending her another few $1,000s to pay for their wedding? Is it not him? Because where are we getting this resort money from? Or are you putting yourself in more debt? But he and Madelein ironically don't even fight about that. It's the fact that he was only putting this property in his name and not in both of theirs.
Everything that we saw today, they're going to go in my name, and I'll put a lot in our name.
I guess she was kind of completely glazing over the last few episodes in that moment where she was basically calling the wedding and the relationship off with Luke. Like, this was literally just a few weeks ago at the most. Girl, why would he put anything in your name now after seeing how quick you'd leave him if something happened? Like, think about it. Why would you want to go into business with someone that difficult anyway? Anywho, later on, she takes a pregnancy test because, like I said, she wasn't feeling well. And I think she said she also might have been a little late when it came to her cycle. She took the test and thankfully it came back negative because Lord knows they don't need the added stress from a child right now. They have enough to deal with. Luke's dad eventually flies down to catch the wedding that was now in a few days, and he's also pretty unsure along with Luke if they should still move forward with a wedding. He tries to talk some sense into Luke about this resort idea because it really wouldn't be a smart move right now. But when has Luke ever really come up with any smart financial ideas since they've come onto this show? Anywho, that's it for now. You guys can let me know your thoughts down in the comments on these chaotic messes of couples they have this season. But I'll catch you guys in the next one.